Ready?
Rolling.
All right, steady in there. Action.
Okay, if you can, look directly into the camera. All right, I would like you to say your first and last name and spell it out for us, please.
Lakeisha Mungro, Lakeisha. Last name Mungro, Mungro.
All right, thank you for doing this. Let me ask you, can you just describe the race relation situation in Buffalo?
The race relation situation, basically to me, I really don't have a problem with white Caucasians. My real problem are with the blacks and Arabics in the city of Buffalo. I'm gonna start with black people. I just think a lot of it has to do with ignorance. The black people in Buffalo, to me, are ignorant. I feel like white people are not our biggest problems. We are our biggest problems. I feel like white people give us all the opportunity in the world to succeed, to move forward, to become successful, but we don't take advantage of those opportunities. I just feel like we are our own worst enemies. And I don't feel like anything is going to change until we as a whole come together and take responsibilities for our actions. And that's as far as education, our families. I think we lack a lot of morals and values, spirituality. I really don't hear people talking about church or taking their kids to church or stuff like that. And I really think that's where it starts. And until we can start dealing with the things that are most important, things are never going to change. I think we're very materialistic. I think we're very worldly. And we don't have no type of foundation. There's no stability. I just think we're all over the place.
Let me ask you, do you think, now you had a lot to say about black people, do you think that other races receive different privileges than blacks?
I really don't. I feel like this is not 1904. This is like 2015. And things have really changed. And I feel like black people still want to use slavery as an excuse for not being able to progress because they're not putting in effort or they're not doing the things that need to be done to proceed in life as far as education and other things that would make them successful.
Have you, give me a personal story that you dealt with racism in Buffalo.
I really can't tell you a situation where I really feel like, and I'm just being honest, whereas I feel like I was treated differently by a white person because of my skin color. But if you want to ask me about my own kind, I can give you a lot of different scenarios where I feel like I have been quote unquote discriminated against because of my color.
Tell me, when you say your own people, like what? Like because you're lighter or because what?
Not even so much as being lighter, but I just feel like jealousy, you know what I mean? Like black people in Buffalo, they get jealous over the most pettiest things, you know what I mean? Like the most smallest, stupidest things. It can be something like, oh, you got the new Jordans on, something stupid like that. And you got people who would hate on you because of something like that, or you got a new car, or you moved in a new house and it's nice, just stupid stuff.
What is the current state for black women right now, in your opinion, as far as like unity? Do you feel like you have the most problems with your own people, which are probably black women? And just give me, just ramble on about that.
Well, with black women, I think we need to stop pointing the finger at our black men and take some responsibility for some things that are going on. For example, there was a topic on Facebook yesterday, I had asked why every time we look around, you know, you have a black man in a white woman's face trying to get at her. You know what I mean? And one of the issues that came up that I had an issue with was, for instance, you know, maybe some of these kids that don't have fathers in their homes, maybe if women knew, okay, for instance, I'm a woman, okay? If a man approaches me and I know he has a family at home, I feel like as a black woman, that is my responsibility right there and then to be like, no. You know what I mean? Like, why would I want to take this man, regardless to what I want? Why would I want to pull him away from his kids and being in a house with his kids and his woman and his household? I think sometimes black women make it hard for other black women when it comes to certain situations like that, from just being greedy, from jealousy, from all types of things, you know?
Would you ever date a white man?
Would I ever date a white man? Yes, I would date a white man.
And how do you feel about interracial dating?
I really don't have a problem with interracial dating. To me, it's not about love, it's about a fad. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool for a white woman to be on a black man's arm. I mean, if a black man and a white woman and a black man, or a black woman and a white, if they really love each other, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't be dating somebody in another race just to get cool points, because it's wrong.
How do you determine who loves who and who's trying to be cool?
How do I determine that? I mean, 10 years ago, to me, you see a black man with a white woman, okay. Now, you see a white woman with a black man, it's more of a, I'm trying to be cool type down thing. Like, this is the cool thing to do. This is the hip thing to do. I mean, I'm 37 years old. I know the difference. And in the past 3 or 4 years, things have totally changed. It's not for love. Like, even with the media, you know, when you see commercials, you see they make commercials with black men and white women, but you never really see commercials with white women, with a black woman and a white man. You know what I mean? It's kind of like this is what the media and the government is feeding us, to a point where it's that they're trying to brainwash the black men to make them think if it's not white, then it's not right.
Tell me, do you think that that white people are scared of black people?
I don't think white people are scared of black people. I really don't.
Are you proud to be black?
I love being black. I think I am a beautiful black woman.
Elaborate, please.
Do you, go ahead. Just elaborate on that.
You just loving being black.
I mean, I love me. Like, I love me. And I'm not just black, I'm Italian. I have an Italian last name, and I'm also Native American. So, you know, it's not really me being prejudiced against no culture. I'm just prejudiced against ignorance, period.
Do you believe there's such thing as white privilege?
Like I said, this is 2015. Everybody, to me, has equal opportunity. It's not what you do, it's how you do it, and it's making the best out of your situation. Somebody can't give you a job and then you not show up for work. You know what I mean? You can't have $1 million and go and buy $1 million house. It just don't make sense.
So what are the privileges of being black?
What are the privileges of being black? I really don't, you know what? It's crazy, because it's like, don't nobody want to be black, but yet and still everybody want to be black. You know what I mean? Everybody walking around, talking black, listening to black music. They just embrace the black culture, but they have not embraced the black people, and I don't think that's fair.
I'm about close it up. You guys got anything else?
No, that was it. That
Yes.
was my last one.
Hang on. All right, real quick. We still rolling? Do you feel like the effects of slavery, what happened back then, does it still affect us? I know you said
Yes.
it didn't, but do you still feel like
Yes.
mentality?
Yes.
And just elaborate.
I just feel like, man, slavery, it just really damaged everything forever to the end of life. I feel like if anything is going to change with the black people, with the black culture, God is basically going to have to come back, wipe this whole entire earth clean, and we're just going to have to start all over again. We're never going to come out of that. It's like our mentalities is just like, man, it's crazy, because even in my conversation yesterday about white women and black men, well, they were like, well, white women is this, that, and the other. Well, white women, why our ancestors was in the field getting beat, their ancestors were in buildings getting education. You know what I mean? So yes, it has and is gonna have a long-term effect on African Americans for the rest of our lives, forever.
Last question. As a black woman, how do you feel about black women essentially embracing, white culture by straightening their hair, bleaching their skin, and things of that sort versus...
I don't think that's because they want to be white. I just think that just has a lot to do with them just wanting to be beautiful. Like, why when we do something, it has to be because we're trying to mock somebody?
You're saying beautiful.
Yes.
Is
I mean,
nappy hair and dark skin not beautiful?
no, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If you feel more comfortable with your hair being straight and that's what makes you feel beautiful, then do that. If you're comfortable with your natural curly hair or whatever it may be, then rock that. It's what's about what makes you feel comfortable, and a black woman should not have to be scorned because she goes and get her hair relaxed or dye her hair blonde.
Last question. Did you watch the Whiteness Project?
A little of it.
What did you get from that?
Ignorance.
Just repeat the question. Say, the Whiteness Project for me was...
The Whiteness Project for me was a bunch of ignorance. It was basically people talking about things that they really had no real knowledge about. It's kind of off of a he say, she say type thing, or what other people are saying, or with the media. You know what I mean? The media, it has a lot to do with the way we think and the way that we act. Them subliminal messages, they're crazy.